Hi, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for another video edition of Widower Wednesday. I'm Abel Keogh, author of Dating a Widower, and today I'm recording a video I don't know if I'm going to share with the public. If you're seeing this, I've obviously decided to share it, but as I'm recording this, I don't know if it's something I want to share. So I think I'm going to record this and let it sit for a while and then decide whether or not to share it. So the topic and the reason I'm not sure I want to share it is on the date of death. And so it's common to get questions from widowers like what should I do on this day, or what's appropriate to do, or from women who are dating widowers, and how should I act on this day? Should I support them? Should I go to the cemetery with them? Whatever. So what I've decided to do though is talk about what I did on the date of death this year. So the date of death for my late wife is November 10th, and it's been 17 years since she died. And so I'm just going to give you a summary of how my day went. So I got up at 5 a.m. and I ran 7 miles. I always run long runs on Saturday. I got up a little bit earlier, and I'll explain later, but I got up at 7 a.m., went for a 7-mile run, came home, cleaned up, and the reason I had to uh, run so early, I guess, was that I had a volunteer commitment that I had to do from 8 to 10 that morning. So I got up, ran, cleaned up. By the time I cleaned up, half the kids were up, and so helped get them breakfast. Some of the younger ones just kind of got some stuff done, and then I went to my volunteer commitment for 2 hours. So from 8 to 10, I was at my volunteer commitment. And then after that, I went home for a little bit, spent some time with the kids, and then around noon or thereabouts, my wife, Marathon Girl, or Julie, and we had a lunch date with some friends, and we went out and had lunch with them, had some barbecue, it was good food, had some good conversation, and then immediately after that lunch, we drove home. I picked up my 2 oldest boys, and that we went to their final flag football game. I'm their coach. I coach their team. So probably from about, I don't know, 1:30 to 2:30, something like that, we were involved in a flag football game. And they won. It was a good game. It was nice to see the team come together. Actually, it's probably the best they've played all year. So it was nice after 8 weeks of practices and games and coaching to actually just see them just gel and play. So highlight, and everybody had fun. Then after that game was over, ran some errands with Julie and the kids. We popped the kids in our van. We had some errands to run, and we actually decided just to go do them as a family instead of just going out as a couple and doing them. We decided to take the kids with us. Took a couple hours there, ran some errands. Came home, and I played with the kids for a couple hours. I got a 5-year-old who's obsessed with chess now, so I played a couple of games of chess with them. I think I played some card games with some of the other kids, played some games. Then that evening, my college football team had a game, and so I turned it on and halfway watched the game and halfway kind of continued to play with the kids on the floor, just whatever games that they wanted to play. They were bringing in board games and all kinds of stuff, and so watched the game, played with the kids, ate some dinner while the game was going on, and I think by the time the game ended and everything, it was about I don't know, maybe it was about 9 o'clock, and I was pretty beat because I'd already been up since 5, and had done the run, and yeah, that was my day. And so I know some of you are thinking, well, did you know what day it was? Did memories of that day or stuff cross your mind? And the answer is yeah, twice. One was earlier in the morning when I was doing some volunteer work. Earlier that morning, I did kind of realize what day it was. I was actually writing the date on a piece of paper, and it wasn't a date that, I guess I should probably explain that it's not like a date that I count down to or dread anymore. It was kind of like that the first few years, where it's like, oh, it's November 10th is coming, it's a week till November 10th, and and I just don't do that anymore. But while I was filling out some paperwork at this volunteer assignment, wrote down the date, and I realized it was November 10th, and so for about 2 or 3 seconds, I thought, it's that day, and kind of thought about it, and then went on with volunteering. And the second time it crossed my mind that day was later in the afternoon after the flag football game when I was playing with my kids, or I don't know, maybe the football game was on TV at some point while I was home playing with the kids. It just kind of crossed my mind again. I was like, oh yeah, this is 17 years ago right now. I was a widower kind of thing, and kind of spent 2 or 3 seconds thinking about it and went back to my normal life. But overall, it was a good day. I think it was one of the best Saturdays I've ever had. I got a lot done. I helped a lot of people. Played with my kids a lot. Got to spend some time with Julie and some friends. I can't complain. And I think all November 10ths, I hope they are as busy and as wonderful as this November 10th, because to be honest, that's the way they really should be. I'm Abel Keogh, author of Dating a Widower. I'll see you next Wednesday.